Hey everybody, Ancestry has come out with some new DNA tools. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this up into a series. But this one, I'm going to start with ThruLines. We're going to talk about that in this episode and some of the new stuff that's being rolled out. Not everybody has it right now. We're going to talk about it all coming up next. Before we jump in, let me tell you there is a handout for this episode and a detailed information about where to find the handout because there's some confusion. Toward the end of the video, I'm going to go into all of that in detail, but for now, let's jump into the ThruLines episode. Okay, I'm on the home screen. Some of it's blurred out because of living people, but here on the DNA tab, if you go to your results, you'll see that things are starting to change. Things are starting to update. And so it appears that there is a lot going on the new DNA side of the Ancestry platform. And so we're going to dig into that now. So there are two ways to get to ThruLines. That's what we're talking about today is the new ThruLines. There are some other areas that are starting to pop that are new also. We'll talk about that in other episodes. For now, I just want to focus on ThruLines because, you know, over the years, so many things have not been perfect about ThruLines, and I think it is a huge improvement as to what they are doing. So there's two ways to get there. You can go to ThruLines here by clicking on ThruLines, or you can come up to DNA and click on ThruLines here. So we're going to jump over there, and immediately you see a new looking tree. So as we are starting to explore this, let's look at a couple things. Let's zoom in first of all. I'm just skipping over, you know, there's me and my parents, right? I'm going to get you up here. So we could actually go up the line as well, which is really nice. So you here are looking at the ancestors view, not the descendants view, the ancestors view. First, kudos to Ancestry. I love this view. Okay. Also up here, see where it says CK? This is my test, okay? If you are managing multiple tests, you can switch between them up here, okay? We also have a menu over here where we can get some more information. We can take a look at both the vertical and the horizontal tree. Interesting. From ThruLines? Wow. Okay, I wasn't aware of that. So the reality is I had recorded this episode back in December because they let it, they opened it up for like one day. And I recorded an episode really quick. And when they did that, then I was like about ready to hit publish, and they took it down and they totally revamped it again. So I was not able to use that episode. Long story short, let's dig into some of this. So we have the zoom button. I was using my scroll bar, my scroll wheel on my mouse to zoom in and out. And then if we go to home, it's going to pop down to me. All right, enough of that. You get the idea. All right, so now what is new here is you see these little node icons. So if we click on one of those, here we can see that we have 8 DNA matches underneath this ancestor. So let's go take a look at what the new view is. So let me back up again real quick. I'm going to close this down to make it look simpler. Ancestors view, right? These are my grandparents. These are my great-grandparents. We're going to take a look at the descendants from my great-grandparent, Frances Johnson, as she was known in the United States. You probably, if you've been following me anytime, you've been watching her. All right, so we're going to click into that. And now you can see the descendants view. These are Frances Johnson's children. And if we take this Frances Madsen, her third daughter, we can see that there are DNA cousins underneath. But you can see the descendants lines. So let's take a look at this one for a minute. So this is my grandmother, my great-grandmother, okay? Grandmother, father, and me, okay? We can open this up because there's 4 more people in this line. And now we can see my father, my aunt, and there are even more here. We can keep going. So now you can see everybody in one view. I absolutely love this because before you could not. Now, if you don't like this view for some reason and it's driving you crazy, then you can also hit the classic view. And this is what it looked like under the classic view. You had to open up each section. So here's my grandmother again. Here's my father. But in order to see those other matches, we had to open that up. We had to open that up again. But if we go back to the new view, we can see everybody that descends from Francis Johnson. Isn't that cool? I love it. Okay, so for those of you who are not familiar with what this means, these dashed lines mean that they are not in my tree. So this is a new DNA match for me, and this person is not in my tree. So I could hit, so the one thing that Ancestry has done that I think might be a little deceiving, before we could click on this evaluate button, there's no clickable thing. You have to click on the person. So now we can see the person and see the relationship and go look at their profile, reach out to them through the messaging center if we wish, and so on. We could also add this person to the tree right here if I want to. I'm going to choose not to for the sake of this video right now. So I'm going to close that. But the ThruLines, if you've got it, it's rolling out right now, and more than half of the country has it. So go check your ThruLines. Honestly, this is some of the first time I'm seeing it as well. And I had gotten word that more people were getting this over the weekend while I was out traveling. So I am starting to look at this for the first time too. One of the things I want to point out is up here in the corner, if you want to get back to your full view, click on View All Ancestors, and it will take you back to that original view that we saw. Now, let's explore together, shall we? Let's go up the tree. I'm gonna zoom in on a couple areas. I've got like, let's go to this one. Let's go up the line first. So as you can see, here I've got 9 DNA matches that fall under Melissa Smith, but above that, we have 29 and 26. Why is that? Because Melissa is not the only child from this ancestral couple. So if you're confused by that, let's explore. So let's take William Smith, and we're going to click on the 29 DNA matches here and see what we get. Wow, huge. Okay, now one thing, disclaimer here. While Ancestry, it appears this new update looks more accurate, I want to hear from you in the comments. Go explore the ThruLines and see if it looks more accurate to you. What you need to do, one of the things, especially if you're new to the whole DNA thing, think of ThruLines as just a hint feature. It is a suggestion of how your tree lines up, okay? And the reason I say that, and I've always said that, it's just throwing a hint at you. Just like if you got a list of record hints for suggested birth records or something, you have to go through them and verify them. So the same goes here. You can see all these evaluate buttons all over the place. And I need to go through and verify with records through traditional through traditional records, how this lines up. But you see all these dashed lines here means that these people are not in my tree. And holy cow, there's a lot of work I need to do on this branch to see if these people are in fact lining up properly. So how do they discover this? Well, let me tell you. All of these DNA test takers likely have a tree in part, even if they only have 1 or 2 people in their tree. If they have 0 people in their tree, they maybe are adopted and have no idea who their family is, they would not see anyone in the ThruLines view because they have not built a tree. So if they have not attached their own DNA to a family tree, and I'm talking about this family tree over here, if they have not attached themselves, I have attached myself to my family tree. So keep in mind that this ThruLines is not the same as the tree that you are building. Okay? So this, again, is just a suggestion. However, we can add these people to our family tree from here. Okay? So let's take Julius M. Smith. We have a potential child, Ada and Reba. So these people are not in my tree. They're not in this Henley Knox family tree, but they could be. So if I click on Ada and I go through and it says it's based on a tree, okay? And I go through and I look at the records in that family tree. Let's drop this down. It looks like there are several census records that this person has attached. There are no photos, but there are 4 family members that are in this person's tree, okay? Then I can decide if I want to add this person to my tree. So it says evaluate and add. So I can sit there and I can drill into these records, right? I would probably do this in a different tab. So what I did was I did a right click and open in a new tab. And then I could flip over here and look at the record in detail. I typically drill all the way in. There's Ada right there. I don't typically look at this magnified view, maybe briefly, but I like to drill all the way in. I'm not going to do that today. But let's pretend for a moment that I am satisfied by looking at the records. I've reviewed the records and I'm satisfied. I can now add that person to the tree by simply clicking this. I can review the sources. I'm going to use this tree as the suggested record, the source for adding this person to the tree. There are other member trees that have done the same thing. I can view more by clicking open here, and then I can review the sources again, and I can see they've given us 3 clicks to get there. So it's not so easy. You need to evaluate before adding someone to the tree. So they're basically kind of like saying, hey, do your due diligence. Check out these records. Make sure that you're satisfied that this person actually belongs in this tree, that Ada is actually the child of Julius. And then we can click add to tree. And now she's in my tree. And you can tell by the solid colored lines as opposed to the dashed lines. So we can continue to work on that and go through and determine of the through lines that is laying out here, how likely are they? So it could be, it's most likely, this is my theory, that these people that have taken a DNA test and they're lining up in the through lines likely know who their parents are. And so they've added them, unless they're adopted, and they've added their adoptive parent as a biological parent, then that might be an issue. With this, we can now see what they're suggesting, what they're showing as their path upward. All right, so as you are working through this, keep in mind, this is in beta, okay? And I'm not an employee of Ancestry. I just love their platform, and so I talk about it a lot. If you come over here to where it says beta and you click on it, you can leave feedback for the engineers who have designed this. However, please do your homework first before inundating them with feedback. They're not going to reply. I can tell you that right now. But they are going to listen. And they listen a lot because we have all suggested things that we like or don't like about the platform. And a lot of times they implement them. So they are listening. So if you want to send them some feedback, you can do so with the beta button right there. Let's see what else we can find. Hey, we're going to get back to that video here in just a moment, but I want to let you know that Genealogy TV has a website, a newsletter, and a Facebook page. Links for all of that are in the description box below the video. All right, let's get back to it. All right, let's try this. If we click on the 3-dot menu, it gives us the guided tour. And so it's telling us how your matches are connected based on your DNA and family trees on Ancestry. Hit next. It's giving us the evaluate button, which we've already talked about. It's telling us that we can change this is interesting. So find the tree view that works for you: a vertical tree, a horizontal tree, a list, or ancestor cards. We're going to play with all those here in a second. Print or start this tour again. Use these controls to zoom in, out, center your tree, and expand or collapse all branches. And leave feedback about this feature. You can leave it here. Let's see, what else does this say? View all ancestors. We talked about that. If you want to get back to your base view. And the classic view, if you want to get back to the classic view. All right, so there's the guided tour. In case you forget, it's under the 3-dot menu. We're exploring this for the first time together because this is the first time I'm doing this. So I want to see what these other views look like. So we've got the vertical view, which we're on, the list view. I thought it had a horizontal view a second ago. Where'd it go? Let's go back here. So we're going to go back to the all ancestors. This is kind of what I was calling the base view. Now we should be able, now we can get to the horizontal view and look at it like we did before. This is really different. All right, so we had talked about Francis Johnson before. Let's see what this looks like now. And it comes back to the vertical view. That totally makes sense because you can't display descendants in a horizontal view. So yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to go to all ancestors again and play with these views again just for a moment. So we can go, okay, so I do like this because your regular tree, if I go to my regular tree, so this is very similar. Okay, so these are my great-grandparents, the same that you are seeing over here, my great-grandparents here in this view. So if we again are playing with just Francisca Jensen or Francis Johnson, we can open that up. Oh, look at all the DNA cousins. It's working. It's turning. It's spinning. Oh, I love this. This is awesome. Oh, look at this. So if I'm working on a certain branch of the family tree, I can then go, I'm working on Johann Beck. All right, let me, not to confuse you, but this is my tree. Let's double check here. So everybody in the solid lines are my tree. Christiane Beck, Johann Beck is her father. Let's find Christiane Beck over here. Here she is. Open this up. We have Johann. And these are my potential ancestors that I have not verified yet. So if we go look at the through lines, it's showing Johann, and it's showing other people that are not in my tree, but DNA cousins for those lines. Hallelujah. Good job, Ancestry. Let's just dig a little deeper and see how far it goes. How fun. All right, this doesn't mean these people are absolutely in my tree. All 19 of these DNA cousins here could be wrong about how they built their tree, but are they? That is the new hunt that we have, the new super sleuthing that we need to do. But boy, it's already given us a path, right? Whether we're using the horizontal view or the vertical view, let's go see what that looks like. We got to go back up the tree again. I got to think about my tree. I actually kind of like that horizontal view because I don't have to think as hard, right? So I'm going up this way. Here's Christiane Beck. Go up this way. This matches what we were just looking at on the horizontal view. Johann Beck. Okay, so this is the same view that we were looking at a moment ago in the horizontal view over here. We've got Christian Beck, which is the potential ancestor. And here we've got Christian Beck as the potential ancestor on the regular tree. Don't get confused. This is the tree I have built. Nobody else. This is not a collaborative tree like you find on Family Search. My tree. And all these green check marks, I have verified these people. These people are a work in progress. So, and how do I know that? You're going to ask me, I know. These check marks are emojis that I put into the suffix field on their profile. Okay. So, yeah, man, I do like this. This is really cool. Yay. Kudos, Ancestry. Love it. Is ThruLines absolutely perfect? It never will be, because the family trees that it's built on are never perfect. But boy, it gives us a lot of ammunition to go research records, to go look at those DNA cousins. Well, this is interesting. So it's kind of almost giving me a classic view. I have to open this up in order to see all of those people that are suggesting that this is the line. So all of these DNA cousins are suggesting that, are maybe have traced this all the way back this far. Very cool. Love it. Love it. Love it. Look at this. And it just keeps getting bigger. It doesn't collapse part of the tree like the classic view did. The classic view, it couldn't open up everything at once. It would automatically close other sections of the tree. This one does not. Let's take a break for a moment and talk about the handouts, because there's a lot of confusion around how to find the handouts for the membership that you may be a part of or not part of. So there are actually 4 different ways that you can get the handouts for these videos. And the first way is just to purchase it off the website at genealogytv.org. That is only if you are not a member of one of the memberships. So there are 3 memberships, and there's the Patreon membership. There is, here on the YouTube channel, you can click the join button and join there. And then there is the Academy membership. So I'm going to put some QR codes on the screen as we talk about each one of them, so that you can go straight to it with your cell phone if you want to pick up the handout. All right, so let's talk about the first one. So again, if you just want to buy the handout, you don't want any kind of membership at all, and you just want to pick up the handout, you can do so over at genealogytv.org, and then /handouts will get you straight there. Then you can scroll down. The most recent handouts are usually at the top, and then you can scroll through. There are hundreds of handouts there now. And by the way, before I move on to the membership side of it, it is the memberships and the handouts that support this channel. It helps pay for the microphone and the software and the lights and everything that goes into producing YouTube videos. So for that, I appreciate it and thank you. So let's talk about the memberships. The Patreon membership and the YouTube channel memberships are very much the same. So very similar anyway. So the Patreon membership, for the handout level, there's a support level and then a handout level. The handout level is called the Happy Dance level, and I think that one's about $15 a month. With that membership, you get notified of the new video when it comes out, and you get the handout in an email. Now, some people really like that email. If you've unsubscribed, you would not get that email. But if you are still a Patreon member, you could also find it by going to the posts on the patreon.com/genealogytv. You would find the posts, and you could scroll through and get the handouts that way. All right, let's move over to the YouTube channel membership. Now, in order to join the YouTube channel membership, all you have to do is hit the join button. The handout level is called the information access level, and that's about $10 a month, and that is not emailed to you. You have to go to youtube.com/@genealogytv. That's the @ symbol, genealogytv. And there you click on the membership tab. They changed it, so some of the older videos say click on the community tab. Now it's click on the membership tab, and you would see, you might even still see it in the community tab as well, but on the membership tab, if you are logged in, you would see the most recent videos, and it will say, early release plus handout in big bold letters, and then a link, and it'll give you the link. You click the link and it pops up on your screen, and then you can download it. Now, the other 2 levels on both Patreon and the YouTube channel are merely a support. You get early release on the videos. As soon as we can possibly push them out, we do. And that way you get maybe a week ahead of the regular public release. So stuff like This most recent video you're watching right now probably went out on early release. So then the last, number 4, I guess, is to join the Genealogy TV Academy. With that membership, you get the exclusive Academy stuff. You get the Zoom calls, and every video I produce on the YouTube channel, you can watch on the genealogytv.org website. There is an Academy dashboard there. If you are a member, you would have access to all of the videos, commercial free, and all of the handouts in the library. So you don't have to scroll. Like with the Patreon membership and the YouTube channel membership, you have to scroll to get to the older ones. So if you're watching a video that's 2 years old and you want the handout for that, you're going to have to scroll forever. But at the Academy, it's all in the library. You just search for it and pop up. So it's that simple. So over there we have Zoom calls and a community. It's really a lot of fun. And if you're a member of the Academy, thank you. I appreciate it. That's it. I mean, those are the 4 ways. Just straight up purchase at genealogytv.org. Become a member of the patreon.com/genealogytv at the Happy Dance level. The YouTube channel membership at the information access level, or be an Academy member. Those are the 4 ways to get the handout. And I know this was kind of long-winded, but there's a lot of confusion as to where to go get those handouts. So wherever you sign up for a membership is where you go to get your handout. Okay? All right, let's get back to the video. Okay, so there's some new things going on in the match list. And so we're going to talk about that here coming up in the next video.